Okay, so the last step is this. You just got to get into action. You just got to do it. What my problem was when I was first started was that I was waiting until I had enough reo, and until I was good enough, and it was right enough, and it was perfect, and it was never going to happen. And if I was still waiting, if I was still had that mindset, I'd still not be speaking now. I wouldn't be using any reo with any of my kids, and I definitely wouldn't be teaching because, I just had to get for myself. It was never going to be perfect. I'm a second language learner, and it's all part of the learning process. You have to make hapa in order to improve. So for me, that was my way forward. And I have to remind myself that all the time. In any classes that I teach, it's mandatory rule, me hapa. Because until you get it out there, you don't really know what's right and wrong. And it's all a process. Yes, so the only time to do it, the right time to do it is just now. Okay, so you guys are going to get this slide, this PowerPoint, but there's little bits and pieces on there that might help you. But I just want to jump into this contextual planning. So this is getting back to the, which one? It's just like about focusing in on the reo and like a strategy about how to plan for reo in one context. So it's important is to not try and eat the whole tohora in one go. You got to eat it, one mouthful at a time. And so this is thinking about your reo Māori speaking world, and being able to chunk it down. Because like I said, when I went to university, to kura reo, to panikeretanga, to pīnakitanga, I've just done about any reo course that I can get my hands on. But none of them helped me specifically with reo in the home. And one of my dickness things was like, well, someone's got to do it for me. They've got to give it to me. But I had to get over that, and I had to learn how to do it myself. But this is a strategy to help you plan for reo in little specific contexts. So not big contexts like reo i te kāinga, that's too big. Even reo i te kauta is too big. It's about chunking it down into something small and starting with the reo in that domain, because what you learn in that domain, you can transfer over to other domains, whether it be in the kāinga or out in the hapori or wherever. So this is a mate of mine came up with this. She's an early childhood teacher, and I adapted it and refined it just for reo o te kāinga. So there's just 4 things that you need to think of when planning for te reo, or 4 areas, but there's some other things that you need to think of. And you need to chunk it down into taiao. So the taiao is not just the natural environment, but it's just the physical environment. So when you choose your context, what's in there? What can you see? What's around you? The second one is tū mahi. What actions do you do within that context? So this helps you break down what it is, some things that you need to talk about. Tikanga. So what are tikanga protocols, Nate? Behaviours, anything about safety, anything about values or attitudes that you want to impart on your tamariki. So it's thinking about those things. And tuahua ke is just everything else box that doesn't fit everywhere else. All right, so just the 4 T's. 4 T's to contextual planning. Taiao, what's the space? Tū mahi, what actions do you do? Tikanga, values, protocols, all of that. Tuahua ke, so that can be like descriptives and other bits and pieces. Okay, but before you get onto that, you need to think about the big picture. So choose what your horopaki is, what your context is, and make it really like a small communicative context. So it might be, I talked earlier about going to the wharepaku. It might be having a bath. It might be getting out the door, like walking to the bus or the car. Something really small, not a massive, because your list becomes too big, unmanageable, and too hard. Think about who this is for. So you need to consider what your reo is like, because you don't need to plan for things you already know. It's adding to things that you don't know or want to be able to use within that context. It's also thinking about who you're talking to and what they need to know, because a lot of us, we're going to be the drivers, and we need to be imparting this language, inputting the language within this context for our whānau. And the purpose, what are you going to be using the language for? So if you choose the wharepaku, what do you want to be saying? Is it about getting on and off the toilet? Is it about like all the actions? Is it about the smell? Is it, what's the purpose? What do you want to do with the language? Or you want to sit and have a conversation about how your day's going because you know it's going to take a lot of time. So that all needs to be part of your language plan for that context. Kai te pai? So this is what we've got up on the board here. So we've got our horopaki, who it's for, and the type of language that you want to, the topics, the things that you want to talk about. So, so for example, if it was at the moment for Jamie and Nepia, Peps, it's, what is it? Te ko mō kākahu i ngā ata. So this is what Jamie's focusing on at the moment, is to be able, like putting clothes on baby in the morning. So you can see it's not, it's really small, really specific. So it's for Jamie, who's learning te reo, and Nepia, who's 10 months, so he's just developing language. So the purpose, he wants to talk to him about putting clothes on and taking them off. He wants to talk to him about how he slept overnight and how he's feeling at the moment. So those are the like mini contexts. So those are the things that we're going to think about when we're brainstorming the type of language that we need. And then you don't have to do this in Māori initially. It's just about getting your thoughts out. And then you can get onto either your dictionary or your experts around you to help you put this language together. So, taiao. The physical environment, we're going to do a plan together. So help me write up some of the words that or phrases, words and phrases that we're going to need, but to do with the environment. What do we see in there? Well, where are they going to be? Bedroom? Yep. Where else? Outside? Oh, it could be the bathroom. Yeah, if you're camping, they might be outside. Ko mō kākahu i ngā ata. So, oh, yeah. Yep. So you might need to have some stuff about huarere in there, so some phrases. Yep. So you might just choose 3 phrases for it's hot, it's cold, it's rainy. Yeah. So you. What else? What other like physical things? Dresser, drawers, yep.
Are you talking about dressing a baby? Was that the example?
Oh, yep. So Nepia, who's 10 months old. Body parts, yep. So we'll do a list on body parts maybe, yep. Awesome. Kākahu, kapai. So we might need a list of kākahu. So all the stuff that, you know, like his PJs and hingariti, kope, and then the things that he's going to wear for the day. Yep, so a list of kākahu. Ka pai, ka nui pia I tēnei wā mo te taiao. Tū mahi, what are some of the actions? If we're thinking about the context is putting on dressing in the mornings, putting on clothes, how he slept and feeling, how he's feeling that day, what are some of the actions we might?
Lift your leg.
Ka pai.
Put your hands up. Stop wriggling.
Stop wriggling, ka pai. So we can put it here and we can put it here. So you don't have to be anal, it's just this is helping you like put it somewhere. Helping you think. Stop wriggling. Oh yeah, my boy, man. He's an angel until it comes to wiping his face or putting his clothes on. What other actions might you talk about? Turn around. Sit up, lie down. Okay, so just one other thing. When you're speaking Māori to, well, definitely in my context in Ōtautahi, there was me, myself, and I talking to my boy on a daily basis. So the only input that he was getting was from me. And so I had to learn, I used to narrate our day, I used to narrate our whole life. So I'd narrate what I was doing. So like, oh, kei te tangua māmi tō kope I nei, ara, te tiro ki tō ure, ana, tiro haunga tōne, you know, just all that random sort of stuff. So I'd narrate everything. Or when he did something, I'd narrate what he was doing as well, because the idea is you're inputting that language all the time. So this is what I think about when I'm putting together a language plan. So what can I be talking to him about when we're taking his clothes off and putting them on and everything that's happening during that time? Because I narrate it all. Yep, sit up, lie down, turn around, hands up, lift your leg.
Does it have to be in a pregnancy? When you're talking about sleep, he's already slept and woken up. So how do you?
Oh, so you just use like the phrases. So, like we need to ask. So
Ask the question, how was your moi?
yeah.
Do you have a moi?
How was your moi? And so we might have 3 possible answers, or two answers that we're going to be using.
Here are here's your
Kabai.
trousers.
Awesome. So we might, then we start building up some phrases that we can put our kākahu in. For half an hour, kapai. So the invitation is to get into groups of 3 or 4 and to go through this process yourself. Choose a horopaki. Choose who it's going to be for. What's their reo like? What do they need to know? Are they beginners or are they a bit further on? What's the purpose? And then these 4 areas. And come up with the beginning of a language plan.